Welcome everybody back to the show. My name is Vince Perri. I'm your certified exit planning advisor, your business broker, serial entrepreneur, and I'm very, very excited. We have a very awesome guest today. We have Jonathan Lemire, and he's the founder of Cohesive Labs. And quite frankly, you guys are going to be very excited about this show because Jonathan has not only scaled over 5 businesses, he's also raised over $8 million in capital. And he's got quite the experience when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. And I'm very, very excited. Before we get into it, make sure that you like and subscribe to this show because every Monday we have a new podcast guest. Every Wednesday we have a live show where I'm educating you solo. And then every Friday I go live. So YouTube is the place to be here. And also follow me on all social media channels. So let's get this party started right now. John, what's going on, man?
Pretty good. How about you, Vince?
Everything's going well, man. Thank you for taking the time to come out here. I can't believe that you live here locally to me.
Yeah, not that far.
No, not that far at all.
Yeah.
But you come from a very, very far place away from here.
Yeah, that's true.
I really always admire people who come from another country and are able to come to the U.S. and really make something of themselves. As my mother is a Cuban-born, my wife is Cuban-born and raised and came here with basically nothing and became a pharmacist and very successful person. I'm very lucky to have her in my life. And just people that come here and really just start from scratch and make something of themselves is always something that I admire. And whenever I hear an accent from somebody, you have to, people need to understand that like that makes them actually a badass because not only do they know more than one language, but they probably came here and had to start from scratch.
Work harder too.
Yeah, you probably have to work a lot harder.
Oh yes, you need.
Yeah.
When you become an immigrant, it's crazy.
So tell me about these. Let's start with the 5 businesses that you scaled. Like we could start with one or we could start with all 5. Were they? So tell me about you first. Tell me about you. Where are you from and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm from Montreal, Quebec. So it's the only French part of Canada. A couple of years ago, I moved out of Canada with my family without knowing when we're supposed to come back, right? So it was the middle of COVID, so we wrap up everything and leave for Costa Rica. But at the same time, we're building a new tech company, and we've been accepted by an accelerator in US. So after a couple of weeks in Costa Rica, I moved here. Thinking it was just for a couple of months, but finally fall in love with US and decide to stay. It was a pretty good, amazing journey.
And is your wife Canadian as well?
Yes, she is.
And how come did you not like Costa Rica? Or
yeah, I love it. It's an incredible place.
Costa Rica's great.
Yeah, it's really great. The mood is really smooth.
Oh yeah, what are they? Pura vida, right?
Pura vida, yeah. But I think it was a big change to leave your own country is a good move. So you need to be ready because when you start from scratch. Mm-hmm. Nothing, no credit, no friends, no family. So and second language too for me. So
you know English and French.
Right now, yes.
So you don't know Spanish?
A poquito.
So Costa Rica was probably pretty tough.
Pretty good.
When you went to Costa Rica, did you plan on staying in Costa Rica?
We were expecting to stay a couple of months. But we stay a month and a half or almost 2 months.
Okay, so you weren't planning on living in Costa Rica?
Well, not leaving, but staying for a while. Just,
So
like
why Costa Rica? Was it like a vacation as well? Like, let's just take a break for a little while?
I think it was mostly like take a break and make a big change.
Yeah.
With COVID was crazy, and especially in Canada, everything was so strict. And I think it was the time for us to make a big move. And I think that move bring us to US. So in the end, it's nice.
Did you plan on coming to the US after Costa Rica?
I think since 2015, we make a trip in California. And we fall in love with the mood and the vibe in California. And at that time, we said, one day we'd like to move. And that was part of the plan, at least on our goal. So
you had always planned on coming to the U.S.?
Just don't know when, because that sounds impossible or complicated sometimes, but it's not. So,
well, I mean, I guess it's not like going from Europe to the U.S., I would say. Or is it? I've never been to Canada. I've been to 6 out of 7 continents. I've traveled all over the world, but I have not had the opportunity to go to Canada. So I don't know how much different it is. I know the first time I went to Europe, it was like going to another planet. And the first time I went to Asia, it was like going to another galaxy. And the first time I went to Africa, it was like going to just another stratosphere. So I don't know how much different Canada is than the US.
But the mindset is different, but you
Right.
can find almost the same thing. So it's not like something like going in Asia.
Yeah.
Just living in China is completely different.
Yeah.
Or from Montreal to Costa Rica, it's
Yeah.
a big change because you lost everything.
What's the big difference that you've noticed in the mindset in Canada and US?
Few things. For business wise, people here are willing to move fast. They take bigger risk and they don't care if you fail. If you fail, you receive like this clap. Yeah, we'll start again. In our small world is different. People will judge you easy. Yeah, in Quebec itself, people are most likely to judge you if you fail, if you win. So no matter which side you are, you will be judged. So you need to be ready to do it, but it's not the majority itself. But I would say you can feel the vibe. And here, I think everything is accessible.
What do you mean?
If you want something, you can make it happen if you work. You have access to so much stuff, so much resources, and I think people are more open minded here than they are in where I come from.
So a little bit slower paced.
In Florida, yes.
No, but I mean in Canada.
Oh yes, no, yeah. Florida, I think, is a mix of Costa Rica mood, with the ocean. But if you go in New York, the speed is different.
Where else have you been in the US?
Oh, a lot of places. In California, I stayed for almost 2 years in Birmingham. So it was our first move.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was a good change.
That must have been funny.
It was an amazing trip, but I think it's not a place where I see myself living for the rest of my life. But I met a lot of incredible folks there. So
Southern hospitality. Is what they call it.
they are super welcoming. But I think I visit almost big part of the state: New York, Connecticut, Vermont, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee.
But I can't imagine there being a lot of immigrants or people from another country in Alabama.
Not that much.
Right.
We look really like alien there.
Right.
Everybody stop you at the grocery to say, "Oh, what kind of language are you speaking?"
Yeah. Yeah, with an accent.
Oh, yeah.
With their
yeah.
accent.
Their accent, yeah, they have a big one. I think.
I had to work a couple of hurricanes in the Panhandle, which is like right there, right underneath Alabama. A lot of people were from Alabama that were there, and just wasn't my vibe.
No.
I'm born and raised in Miami, so Miami's it's very much a melting pot of different cultures, mainly Hispanic cultures, but just different. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of different Hispanic cultures as well. And you just hear different accents all the time. Immigrants all over the place, people who are not born in the U.S. The first time that I went to university was the first time I left Miami. And I went to school in Pennsylvania in a small town called Slippery Rock. And it was the first time I went for 1 week, and I went to visit my roommate's house, because everyone in that town, they would go to their house on the weekend. But I was from Miami, so I had to stay. So every once in a while, my roommate would say, "Hey, do you want to come to my house for the weekend so that you're not here alone?" And it was the first time that I ever met English-speaking grandparents. Because everybody in Miami is first generation.
Right.
Either the parents or definitely the grandparents came from another country to settle in Miami. So all grandparents, my grandparents included, didn't speak a lick of English. So it's something that, that I got used to.
For me in Quebec, if you speak only in English, you will be. If you live in Montreal, it's multi-language, right? It's multicultural a lot. But more you go outside of the big city, let's say Montreal, if you speak only in English, you will be judged because people want to preserve the French. So, but it's okay because you want to preserve your culture at some point. But sometimes it's disturbing.
So in Quebec, is French the first language?
The first language is
really?
French. Yeah.
So if I go to a store in Quebec, chances are they're going to be speaking in French.
If you are downtown Montreal, you can speak Spanish, English is common, but most of the time it's French.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Wow. And so if there's such differences in Canada and the US, especially with pace and entrepreneurship, I'm assuming, where did you get your entrepreneurial spirit, do you think?
I was not good at school.
Me neither.
No, really not. And I think early on, I saw my dad running a business. And one day I have a friend, that was my first business. We were doing painting and window washing. So that was my first business, and I discovered I can knock a door and get out with a check. I realized I can make my own money, and we're making good money at that time. So, and we are our first employees to do the job for us. So I understand that, I can make money and pay somebody else to do the work.
Yep.
So, and I fall in love with the model. So, and that was the beginning for me.
How old were you then?
18.
Okay.
Around, yeah.
It's funny because I just started reading. I got it a while ago. I just have. It's called. There's a book called How to Raise Entrepreneurial Kids. And the author is Daniel. Oh my God, he's famous. I just can't think of his last name right now. But anyway, I'm only like 5% in, right? So like literally how the book starts is that it's in a classroom. It's in a classroom with entrepreneurs, and the classroom is going to be teaching the entrepreneurs how to teach their kids how to be entrepreneurs. And he asked the class, he said, raise your hand. This is all entrepreneurs. Raise your hand if you had an entrepreneurial parent in the home. And like 90% of them raised their hand.
Wow.
I thought it would be opposite, but no, it's not. If you are raised by an entrepreneur, that's like higher likely that you become an entrepreneur.
Right.
Or if you are an entrepreneur, it's high likely that one of your parents, if not both of them, were entrepreneurs themselves. You said your dad was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What did your dad do?
He was doing welding and everything related to manufacturing, from like, I would say, everything related to welding stuff. So he had this own shop and he's doing stuff. But I think that I saw him working so hard, but never scaled his business.
Sure.
You know, always staying like super small. So, but I was inspiring to see that you can build something from scratch if you want. You can decide to grow or not.
You know, the Powerball was like $1 billion. Did you hear about that?
No.
You know what the Powerball is?
No.
It's like the lottery.
Oh, yeah.
And my side of the family, a lot of them have already passed away, unfortunately. So my wife's side of the family is with us a lot, and they're all from Cuba.
Okay.
And Cuba is very known for playing numbers. Like they always have these little lotteries in Cuba. And in the past, when Cuba was much better, it was very famous for all these playing numbers. So they love to play the lottery and everything. And me, I don't know if you would agree, as an entrepreneur who makes my own way, I think that playing the lottery is you might as well take your money and just put it in the trash can.
That's it.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I tell them that. They get very discouraged because they're all playing and stuff like that. And they're like telling my kid who's 3 years old, it's like, oh, we're playing the lottery. We're playing the lottery. I said, no. I said, no. Max is going to get out. We're going to sell lemonade in front of the house. We're going to make sure that he's going to make his own money. I said, Max, did you know, he's 3 years old, that you could knock on somebody's door and you could ask them if you would clean their house or mow their lawn and you can make money to buy more little cars? And he just looked at me like, wow, really? And it's just easy as that.
Yeah. My son was doing this recently. He was doing drawing and asked to knock the door to sell them. So, and you want to push this behavior, right?
Maybe I should try to get him to sell his cars.
You can sell everything these days. So
yeah, I mean anything. You can literally do anything.
Yeah, knock the door and try.
So you scaled 5 businesses, according to my notes here. This all started, I'm assuming, in Canada. You did all of this in Canada.
Yeah,
what were the businesses and what were they about?
I did several things. I've been in the real estate one a couple of years ago. I spent a lot of time there and we fell. So we make a...
You didn't fail, you learned.
Yeah, we learned, but I think the failure is important because if you cannot just always win, and it's so easy to look at everybody succeeding, but sometimes they don't talk about their failure. You just see the beauty of, winning. Mm-hmm. But that was a good journey with a couple of millions, and the first time I hit 7 figures plus was really exciting. Now you start making a lot of money. But you are young, excited, you want to take big decision, and you start everything at risk, and is what happened.
Yeah,
so we lost everything. It was a good trip, and we're buying land and building and houses and things like this with like the road and the street to the land was pretty amazing. But I think I made a small exit a couple of years ago by selling e-commerce. That was a good things to learn like different aspect of business. I really did different things. But the last one was a good one in energy tech businesses.
Energy tech.
Yeah, energy tech was not perfect because that ending like not working well, but not because the market is not there, not because we are not good at. I think it's mostly a founder issue. And that's happening too.
Founder issue.
Yeah, I think we don't think about it sometimes, but building investor want you to have partners. You know, they want to invest in a group of people, but you have more chance when you look at the study, more chance to build a business alone and survive on the long run than if you have partners.
Is that right?
Yeah, I can pull out recent stat about it.
Huh. Because
Yeah.
I've always thought I've never started and scaled a business with a partner.
Never?
No, but I've always felt that a lot of the successful, like the mega successful businesses out there, they're not with one person. There's always
Always more
partners.
than one. You have problem with that too because you need to find partner that can align with you.
I mean, that's the toughest part.
Yeah, and if you can hang out on the weekend with them, if you don't build a really close relationship and friendship along the way, when things go wrong, you don't have any friend anymore. You don't have any partners, and you don't have trust anymore, and that's is hard. And not just that, the difference between ages. You know, if I'm older than you, and your perspective is different. So, and I think this is kind of things I've figured out the last couple of years. If I partner with someone, I need to make sure I have more control. So if something happen, I can run the business no matter what. And in this kind of venture, I was not a technical founder, you know? So, and I've not put anything in place in order to keep things running in case of something like that happen. So you need to learn fast because you can waste and lose a lot of things. So,
My father always told me never go 50-50, always be 51-49
yeah,
at the very
at
least.
Yeah.
Even if it's not you, the 51. You'd prefer it to be you, but somebody's got to have the
Yeah.
final say.
But if you agree with that, to be 30, take 30.
Right.
But you know what happens if something get
You're out.
wrong. Yeah, you're out. But it's
So do you have a bad story?
I don't want to say
dramatic
it's a
story?
bad story because it depends on how you see things. But also working with non-experienced founder when it's their first journey, they never been through any kind of process like that, you know? So if something happens, I don't feel motivated anymore. Hey bro, you will not feel motivated for 10 years. You know, you will have years that it's not going well, that you are lost at some point, you know? And you have this kind of moment where you doubt about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You doubt about the business, and now you don't know if you can do the paycheck next month or the payroll for your employees. That's just the things that founders don't realize when they start.
Right.
And you need to do 1, 2, 3 business sometimes to realize if you're meant for that or not. So that kind of things I've learned, that when you partner with some people that are not really entrepreneur, they are more employee or entrepreneur. So they want to work and they think it's like a job. You don't quit being an entrepreneur, you know. You cannot just make your resignation letter and it's done. You have some responsibility behind, you know.
Yeah. It's funny. Yesterday I went through it. I saw it on social media the other day. Somebody was talking about it. But every day, literally you could wake up, right? And you can get a phone call and it could be the worst news that you hear. Whether it's like, oh, a client is upset about this, or some client backed out of that, or we lost this, or whatever it is. And literally like 3 or 4 hours later, you could hear the best of news and it
That's
just
it.
completely changes. And it happens every single day.
Yeah, they call this the roller coaster, founder roller coaster. So start your day super happy. The end of
Yes.
the day is, oh my God, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
What's something that you learned, like something really critical that you learned in your experience as an entrepreneur?
I think sometimes we quit too early because when you start, you're excited. And now you move, you start learning all that work, and now you start doubting yourself or doubting your market or what you're doing. And now you go back to say, oh, it doesn't work, I would do something else. That's common. But I think you need to pursue for a long period of time before taking the final decision that is it working or not.
How long do you feel is a long period of time?
Sometimes it can be years. So, and when you can validate your market quickly. So for me, I love starting something without anything. So going straight, talk to customers and try to sell. When I start selling and getting money, now I know I have something. And I always did that. Knocking door, try to sell painting and window washing. I start from that part a long time ago and I'm still doing the same thing. I knock the door, try to sell something, or would do work for free until I get some kind of client. And when this is done, you have a business and you listen to your client, you build your offer, and you keep going.
So what would be your roadmap starting a business tomorrow, first 12 months?
I'm doing this right now, you know.
Okay, perfect. What's your strategy right now? Because I know, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm actually starting up a business as well, and I've got the whole thing laid out, and it's from all of my previous failures and everything that I've learned. And it's like, okay, and through coaching as well, that okay, I know the exact plan, and it's been a roller coaster, of course, but you know, we know exactly, and my team knows the whole plan and everything that we have to do. So you're doing a startup now. What's the startup and what's your plan?
Yeah, I think right now what I'm doing is, the thing is that I make a transition from a 7-figure business to restarting from
to a 0-figure business.
Yeah. And when I start something, my goal is to make my first million in 1 year. So target 12 months to hit the first million. So, but when you don't know where you want to be, you need to look at your skills. What I have that I can sell. And two, you mentioned what's my failure. So you want to go back and say, okay, and I learned from that thing, so I don't want to make, again, the same mistake. So from there, for me, is always talking to people. So what I did is call all my network, everybody, just reconnect with every person I know, or I met the last 5 or 7, 10 years sometime. And I talk with them, say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm going that way. And they put me in touch with new people. So I'm just getting connected with more folks. Man, we are here today because we connect.
You reached out to me.
You know. So, and I think is the way you can get started again without any money, just talking with people. At some point now, what I'm doing, I'm giving away some free work to help other funders accelerating the go-to-market into the US. You know, I'm doing this. I've done it. I know how it's painful and where's the mistake we did. So I just want to help others to avoid the same mistake. So that's part of one things I'm doing now because I can talk about it. But yeah, so the purpose of that was to how fast I can get people on board. And after that is a recurring model. So I sell you the assessment itself, and after that, we're talking.
Oh, we have the same model. We have
the same model. Sell the assessment, give a good evaluation of how you can help the other person. When you bring value to someone, they are willing to pay for the implementation after.
Exactly.
So pretty much, I don't know if that answered well the question. But.
The thing that I caught that's working for me out of everything, we're running ads. So we have leads coming in. I've got the YouTube channel. We've got a lot of social media. We're giving away a very, very valuable lead magnet, like a guide. So that's where our leads are coming in. But still, I will tell you, the best leads that I have are right on my phone.
Right.
Literally going A to Z. I'm not calling everybody because it's very time consuming. I'm sending a lot of text messages and opening up conversation. That makes things a little bit easier.
Right.
And I would say I have already I'm only through E. I started at A. I'm only through E. I mean, I've got like 5,000 contacts on my phone. I couldn't believe how many contacts I have on my phone.
You don't realize it.
I haven't started a business in 16 years.
Okay.
You know, so it's been a while. And I haven't gone through, I've done this before, just naturally knowing of going through my phone and reaching out to people. And I'm doing it again for the first time in 16 years. And the best leads have been on my phone. And people don't understand when they're just like, I don't have leads, I don't have leads, I don't have leads. Oh, you have leads.
You have.
They're all in there. And obviously, I also reach out to people on Instagram. I haven't even gone through my Facebook friends yet. Like all of this to go through my phone and to go through my Facebook list, it's going to take me at least a year. Yeah. Now, maybe I should be doing more. I do my best. But the problem is I'm also trying to run the company. We're, making big decisions and we're meeting. And then also when I reach out to somebody, then there's like a meeting after that. So there is some time consuming stuff when it comes to it. I do wish that all I could do was sales, but I try to spend as much. I probably do on average 15, 20 outreaches per day. If I include Instagram, it's probably even more, 30, 40. But even then, you do the math at 20 or even 10 a day, you do the math and I have 5,000 contacts. Right. I have another 5,000 on my Facebook. It's going to take me about a year to get through them all, which is great. That's fine. That means I've got lead flow for a whole year. I think it's great that you are starting something new and you are reaching out to just new contacts, and you never know what that conversation comes about.
Yeah, and at the beginning is good to do the process yourself, no matter what.
Absolutely.
You can build tech company, SaaS businesses, but at some point you need to do the work first, and after that build a process and transfer the process.
Another thing that I've told my team is we're kind of building the product and the offers. Like I built here's offer number 1, here's offer number 2, here's offer number 3. But even like offer number 1 is evolving with every sale. Offer number 2 is evolving to sort of suit the pain points and everything like that. Offer number 3 is just the selling of a business for us. And are you running into that too? Where as you're making your sales, the offers are evolving as well?
Yeah, because you refine it based on what your customer want, to help your conversion too at the same point.
Right. So. I love what you said is very important to you is speed, right?
Yeah.
Why is speed so important?
For many reasons. I think if you want to fail, you need to fail fast. Something I've learned through a TechStars program, and they want you to fail fast as they can make you fail, because you don't want to spend 5 years building something that doesn't work, So, and I think when you can accelerate everything, you figure out quickly if it's working. If it's not working, what you do, you need to make some change. And now you modify your offer, you modify your outreach, and et cetera, to get faster to what you want. So
my first 5 offers were free.
That's up. It's working well.
All I asked for was a video testimonial.
That's up.
And feedback.
That's up.
And I'm still about 10 in. I've done about 10, maybe 15. Yeah. And I'm still refining it, and I'm still asking for feedback.
Yeah, and after that you can charge more. Because you have
that's the goal.
Yeah, you practice and you give good value to people around you. You give back.
Yeah. So I want to actually get into, you've raised money. Like you've raised serious money, $8 million.
Yeah,
you've raised from investors.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I could be honest. What's that like?
The last venture we raised around total 3 million, but was tricky because we have some partner that was indirectly forced to invest, but total money raised.
Damn partners.
3 million total. And before I raised a couple 2 million for a project.
Take me behind the process of, you could tell me what it's about, but I want to know like how much, take me behind the process of asking people for money.
First is a full-time job. Raising money, and usually it's the CEO that would go through the process, meaning that if you think raising money just by sending a couple of emails here and there, that doesn't work. You need to see this like as a sales strategy. So you need to create leads. So you need to have a lead generation for your own investor. So you need to pick which investor are good for your business, because if you look at VC, you have VC for climate tech, for example. And now you need to refine which one will invest in hardware versus in SaaS, and et cetera. So you need to figure out the right person of the VC or the investor itself. From there, after that, you need to outreach them. So you need to get through warm intro. So meaning that I need to reach out to you because you know this guy. So now I can have this warm intro. So it's easier to talk with them. Or you go through some organization like Startup Accelerator, where they give you this intro directly through their program. But when you start, it's a full job. It's not a joke. You need to spend 30 to 40 hours to make cold call, emailing, follow up, meeting them, and sending them, and when they go in due diligence, all the documentation. So it's not an easy path.
What is it that the investor really needs to see? Like, what's the most important thing? How they're going to make their money?
Things have changed a lot the last couple of years. It's crazy. So first, one of the big mistake is sometimes as founder, you expect have a really high valuation when you start. It's your baby. So you would ask 20 million pre-money valuation. Sometimes it's not possible. It's better to start with the 3 million or 5 or 6 million to start to get money quickly in the bank account to accelerate your traction, right? Because what you want is to prove that you are the right team to reach this goal. 2, that when you start from zero, meaning that you go through pre-revenue, that you can also have repeat business from the same client. So if I sell you something and expect you that you buy next month, or we have a contract with repeat business. So it's not just like one-time sell. That's something that's not always easy to do at the beginning, because you need to build trust with your market and product market fit too. You need to figure out quickly what is your product market fit and to have this repeatable model on the revenue side.
When's a good point then to start looking for investors? Is it like right in the startup phase?
I think you need to ask yourself what kind of business you want to build. Because these days, I found more founder that search for bootstrapping approach than VC. of course, you have thousands and thousands of businesses that raise money now. But in my circle, I saw this trend where people say, I stopped trying to raise money, is too hard now, so I will move on bootstrapping side. That is, I think, is pretty good things. But I think you need to ask yourself, are you building a venture-backed model? Can you be funded by a VC? Is it more a strategic partnership or partners that would invest in your business? So you need to figure out what kind of business you are in order to decide if you want to raise money from a VC standpoint or let's say sometimes it can be just as strategic in the same industry too.
What would you say is that you're in tech, right? For the most part? Yeah, because when I hear VC, I hear venture capitalist. That's mainly tech.
Yeah, tech. Yeah, SaaS.
Yeah, they're not venture capitalists. They don't invest in just like your normal home services company, right? Unless there's a SaaS product behind it, correct?
You need to have something behind that,
right?
Create value with
typically,
IP.
I deal with private equity.
That's correct.
Which is a little bit different. And private equity typically comes in after the success of a business to basically take it to the next level.
Exactly.
Venture capitalist is typically with a startup, correct?
Yeah. Before revenue sometime.
Before revenue.
For us, we pre-order 1.3 million and we get 1.5 in funding.
Got it.
So now without any tech build, we just sell on paper. And after that, we take a year to design the technology, try to deploy it to raise more,
Got it. So typically, where does that money go? So, one thing that we're always strategizing is, okay, let's say somebody gave us $1 million. What the hell are we going to do with that money? In your experience with venture capitalists, and especially before revenue, if there's a VC company that wants to invest $1 million, where does that money go?
I think some of the best advice I receive in, let's say, tech like this is revenue solve most of your problem. So if you spend too much in product, you can figure out an amazing product at the end that nobody wants.
Right.
So you need to be careful with that. And when you are surrounded by R&D folks and PhD guys, the only things they think about is product. So you need to be able to have a mix of that, meaning that you have traction, you deliver the product, you get feedback from your customers. And when that is done, you go finish your product to deliver it for real, right? So you need to allocate your money well. So if you get $1 million, you spend only on product, how you will generate new revenue or how you will pay your team, because you need to build a team at some point. So you need to allocate this in 3 buckets for me. It's revenue attraction, your product, and after that, the team.
So that sounds to me like marketing, product, and operations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the way I look at it is if I get $1 million, I'm going to put it a lot towards marketing and sales, and then to handle the influx of sales that come in is the operations part.
Yes, and I think it also depends.
Now I don't work with tech, so I don't.
No, but if you're a SaaS, you most likely potentially want to generate your leads from ads or something like that. So you need to decide how you will generate your next leads. For us, we're in B2B2C or B2B long cycle or sales cycle. So that's hard because you work with big bucks or big company. So they don't sign a check tomorrow. It can take 6 months, 12 months before you get your first check. Wow. So that slow all the process. So that's not easy to manage internally.
Now tell me about the deal structure. How does the deal structure go typically with a VC?
Really depends. For us, we raised the first round on SAFE. So SAFE is a kind of vehicle that you can use. So they give you the money right away with some kind of convertible note. If you're familiar with that.
Yeah, like a loan?
It's like a loan, but they will convert in equity later.
Sure.
So it's what they want,
yep.
basically.
So once they make their money back, then they get a percentage of equity from there.
That's it. And usually you will already define what would be the value. So I say, okay, it's 3 million. Everybody's agree for 3 million pre-money.
So if they're investing $1 million and there has been zero revenue, it's all based on predictions.
Prediction.
The valuation of the business is based on here's what it's going to be worth in a year.
In Series A, let's say.
Series A?
Yeah. So if you do a pre-seed, you target to say, hey, we hit 3 million valuation and let's say pre-seed. And pre-seed, if you raise, you target your Series A. Series A, your Series B. You're always chasing the next one until you exit, right? So you need to deliver in the future. So I think it's hard for different kind of reason, and the market change and things like that will potentially move you away from what you want. So it's not sometimes just because your product is not good, I think you have so much variable to think about. So it's risky, but at some point it's working because you have like thousands of businesses that succeed in that model. But
Do you think that's the best way to scale your business, by getting investors? Because we also discussed 15 minutes ago about not having partners.
right.
So what do you feel, and I'm sure it depends, but how do you feel about taking on investors as opposed to bootstrapping yourself?
We were talking about speed. VC or investment give you
Sure,
speed
yeah.
because what you get with the money, you potentially shrink 2 years of progress compared to the other one that tried to bootstrap everything from the beginning. And right now, I'm helping different kind of startup right now, and I have different model. And the one that they are in the bootstrapping, they count every penny
Of course.
because they want to make sure they can survive another year, 2
Right.
years without needing any funding. Someone that goes through the next round, they already have this in their bank account. So they want to spend the money to reach the next round as fast as they can. So the thinking is a little bit different.
You mentioned 3 buckets.
Right.
What, how do you think that should be allocated in regards to scaling fast? Do you have like an idea of, now, again, I know you're in tech, so that's fine, but just in a business in general, let's break it down into marketing, product, operations. Like how do you think that should be allocated?
I think depend where you are in the journey because sometimes you potentially need to spend 70% in marketing and sales because you need to accelerate your traction or your pre-revenue or no matter what it is now and keep your team super lean. So it really depends where you are. So you need to be able to, if you have partners, to sit with them and work on your priorities. And that is like monthly or sometimes it's quarterly, but you need to make sure you follow this really, really well because the thing with raising money is you're always chasing runway. How long I can sustain with that pace. So at some point, if you don't do things right, you will run out of cash. If you run out of cash and don't have enough traction, nobody would want to give you more money.
Right.
So now you're screwed. You come back to bootstrapping, it's really hard. Your chance of survival is really low.
I can imagine. So if
Yeah.
you start with investors and you fail and you go back to bootstrapping, I gotta say that's like a death wish.
It's not impossible, but that would be hard because you don't have, your business is not made on bootstrapping since the beginning. So you need to review
Exactly.
everything. Your team will change. You need to fire people.
No, you have to fire everybody. A lot of
big
people.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So depend your size or your revenue. If you have already good revenue, you might be able to do it and stop raising money. But usually no. If you have good revenue, your investor want to push you more. So we do your next round and next round. So when things going well, usually you raise more money. So I think it's a good sign. When it's hard to raise money, you have a problem. So, and we've been through that and we look at so many things. Is it the business model? Is it the team? Is it our traction? Now at some point you get lost to see, okay, what's going on? So sometimes you're just not fundable or the market change or rule change. So you need to be willing to fail. It's the part of raising money.
Yeah.
So they already accept they would lose their money anyway. So for most of investors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have one of angel that invests in my business and he tell me, John, I already accept that you lose my money now. So it's done. So he accept that he will not potentially never see this money again. But you don't need that money. It's like investing for him. So it's not, I think more they are wealthy, they see things a little bit differently than a small angel, where he's more close to his money or he want to work with you. That's good too. Just depend on what you want. So
What's the key, do you think, to really getting that investor, convincing him to invest in your business?
I think timing is a good one.
Timing?
One, yeah, I think right now with AI stuff, a lot of startup raising a lot of money right now because it's good timing for AI. So if you already have the background, you come from this industry, you start a business in that field, you can get traction quickly and prove that your model can generate more money, you will raise money. So
No, I think my question was geared more towards like when you're selling to an investor and you want to get that money, like what do you feel is the most important? Is it
traction, team.
Really?
Traction.
What about
team.
industry? What about revenue potential? What about past sales? What about...
Yeah, traction is large. So traction would be I sign, I don't know, 10 or 20 new customers a month, for example, and I have this consistency of growth. So I can show to you that I'm growing now.
Okay.
So I have a path of growth to achieve what I'm setting to you. I want to hit 10 million in valuation or 10 million in revenue. So I show you my projection, say, your projection makes sense. The market makes sense. We love this market. And you need to prove yourself. So, and sometimes we're up on a call with your customers to validate the trend. Is it just, and that can kill the deal too, because if it's for us, we did it, that was not going well because the customer cannot convince them, so it's a side effect of it. So I think you need to show a great traction. Of course, if you have great IP and you can prove that it will not be easily duplicatable, that you cannot copy ABC company quickly, it's good too. So it's more than one component, that's for sure.
Do you think it's better? When do you think is the right time? Pre-revenue, like a year after or 10 years after to get an investor?
I think more you get traction, more you get revenue on the bank account, you can prove it, higher your valuation would be. And easier is it because you don't ask.
Sometimes it's proven.
Yeah, you can have some friend and family money. You start, you generate your $1 million, $2 million in revenue. Now you knock the door, say, hey, we already have reached 2 to 3 million. Here's the path to reach 5 to 7. So now I'm raising 5 or 7 million to hit the 20, something like that. So now that makes sense. Too early, you need to have something really, really powerful on the tech or something that they know or people want to buy or something like that. Sometimes you will see this with strategic investment. Let's say you build something in the energy space and this is something that's fit for Honeywell or Schneider Electric. They will invest in your startup early on and they will follow you and help you grow. At some point, they will just buy you. So that's another way to see this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I've never had this conversation.
No?
No.
Yeah.
This is like fascinating to me. So what is it that you're exactly, what are you doing now that you're here, you're in the US, you've made your home here in Florida, what's the next step for John? What are you completely focused on? What's your business in particular that you are trying to do and you are trying to scale now?
Sign-in project right now I'm working on the side. I'm not talking right now, but soon we can talk about it. But right now I'm building Cohesive Lab with other experts.
Cohesive Lab, that's right.
Cohesive
I'm sorry I
Lab,
didn't mention that in the beginning, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what it is to help other international funder to come to the US. So help them with their go-to-market. So their sales marketing strategy, help them to find the right messages to scale in the US, but also all the upside of it, right processes and the right system, and help them to their HR, so the staffing side of it. So really we help you to build your position in the US. We help you to get your first client and grow in the US. No matter what you want to live here or not, you need to potentially open a new businesses here. You need to find your first employees and things like that. So we do all the process with them.
Who's your target market in particular?
Startup or businesses with at least $1 million in revenue.
In Canada?
Everywhere. We have someone from Mexico right now.
Okay,
we
cool.
Have people from France, from Canada itself.
To try to get them to the US market.
Exactly. And we work with other direct startup from US too that want to increase, but I think it's two different offer.
What are some of the obstacles that a business that's located out of the US that they run into?
Language is one.
Of course.
It's a big one because sometimes you speak English, but you don't have the same way. For us, a good example, in Quebec, we're speaking French. When I work with people in France, we don't hear or understand each other because the words are different. So if I want to, sometimes it's crazy, and you need to understand that not because you come from UK or another place or you speak English on a daily basis, that would be easier to take your value proposition and just set it to US. That's one thing. To find the right offer, you need to adjust your offer for US.
I would agree. Yeah.
The offer needs to be different. It needs to be fit for the market here.
Can you give me an example?
I have one. I don't want to name the person, but it's a business from Mexico, and they already have reached a couple of million in revenue, and they raised a great amount of money
in US revenue.
No, in LATAM.
There's no way. That's not good.
Yeah, it's good because they raised millions here from VCs in US to scale here.
Oh, wow.
And now they hire a sales folks. That's the common mistake. I hire a head of sales in US. Okay, but you haven't translate your entire offer for US. So now what
they're offering the same product that
Same
they sell
way
in
this-
Mexico.
Yes, and now what happened is that the sales is dropping right now. We can't sell. Of course you can't sell because first you build your first 2 to 3 million in sales yourself. Now you try just to delegate that to somebody else that is not speaking the same language as you. This person haven't been part of that initial process that you build in another language, and now you need to translate everything and find the sweet spot to be able to close the sales. And that is the offer itself.
How has the offer changed? I mean, you don't have to get into details, but
Can be pricing, can be sometime talk with another company in here in the US right now on the energy side of it, they look at energy as a service more and more, but they still try to sell this project per project. Now I need to convert it as a service instead of setting directly like project by project. So meaning usually we'd pay 100K at once. No, now you would pay on 10 years, your 100K. So
which is better, recurring revenue.
It's recurring revenue, but now it's becoming normal now as a service. So you need to adjust yourself. So do you want to lose a sales because you want to stick your offer? You know, so you need to make some kind of choices. Doesn't mean you need to do it. We need to find a way to overcome the obstacle moving from a country to another one. Sometimes it's almost the same. It's just some kind of messages you would change. Sometimes the pricing, sometimes how you knock the door will be different. The kind of people you need to talk with would be different. So you need to figure out what is the problem. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Would you say then that company in particular from Mexico to the US, did they, I mean, it would seem to me if they're already a multi-million-dollar company and they're transferring to the US, and one of the first decisions they made was to hire a sales team, correct? I mean, I would think that they would have already looked into the US industry and made the changes that they would have had to make, no?
No, because I think it's a common mistake from funders sometimes, especially when you go...
I guess, because I'm thinking about it myself. So if I were to take my company and go to Mexico, I mean, I don't know. I think I would do my research first.
Yeah, you can do your research, but you need to go out there and make the work. And sometimes when you're still a small organization, you're busy.
Yeah, but if the guy is from Mexico, you can't expect the CEO to just start making sales in the US either. He would have to hire a salesperson.
Why?
Maybe he doesn't speak the language?
Yeah, but if you want to come in US, you need to,
Well, look who I'm talking to. Somebody who's here from Canada with a French accent.
And I did the sales myself, and I was pretty hard, to be honest, to knock the door and make presentation. And people are, what are you saying? Can you repeat, please? And at the end, I was building my pitch on the side before getting in the call to make sure I can do my pitch well and prepare my question on the side and things like that to be more consistent and have a better pronunciation, things like that. But I think if you go everywhere, if you come from Canada or Mexico, no matter where you come from, if you go in US, you need to make the work yourself first, I think. You need to go out there and figure out what doesn't work. Or you go with your sales team, your head of sales, and you go to the work with them to figure out what doesn't work. And at some point, just delegate it is not always the first thing you need to do. So, and I think the problem with that is your runaway go out.
Yeah.
For them is their problem right now because I raise money, but you have just 12 months left. So if you don't sell enough in the next 12 months,
you're done.
You're done.
What's been one of the biggest learning experiences from you coming from another country?
It
doesn't have to be business. It could be whatever comes to mind.
I see this like restarting from scratch because for me I never joined like a corporation that sponsored my visa, right? We've moved from zero with a business and, nobody, you don't have. So the social skills is hard. For me, speaking English all the time in business, I'm good. I'm not perfect, but it's easy for me. But the social part of it was more harder for me.
Why is that?
Just hanging out with people, go to networking, take a coffee, making new friends was more harder than in French. In French, it's so social. I can shake hands. I would make joke. I love talking, so I can talk for hours. But in English, no. So I become more introvert. since I moved in US. Why? Because sometimes I was not knowing what to do or what to say, or I was not understanding what the other person was saying.
When there's like a particular English saying that doesn't make any sense to you. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Or you say something, and the other person say, "Huh?" You understand that they don't get you at all.
Yeah.
So,
What's been the biggest culture shock?
Florida, no, nothing. No, none. That was amazing, I think. But in Alabama was crazy.
Yeah.
To be honest, the way they eat, the way they think, we're hearing gunshot almost where we were living almost every night. 2 nights was crazy, man. Kids have been shot. You don't have this in Canada.
Right.
We don't have guns.
There's no guns.
But we have guns, but it's so strict. It's for hunting, It's not to protect yourself. So, yeah.
What do you miss most about Quebec?
Family, friends. But we go there every year. So
What about in regards to just living in Quebec and Canada? What do you miss most? Don't tell me the cold weather.
it's kind of fun too.
I mean, not
But-
January, February. November, December is okay, but you hit March and it's still fucking cold.
Yeah, but you need to enjoy outdoor sports or activities. If not, you're stuck in your home for 3 months.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think the summer is pretty amazing there. It's
I
not
can
too hot.
imagine.
You can do so much outdoor activities. It's amazing. It's beautiful during the summer.
How did you like the humidity here so far this summer?
For me, I love it.
Oh, yeah?
I like it. Open the door in the morning and just smell.
Really?
Yeah. Then remember
I'm
my
sure
first
your
trip
wife
in
hated
Cuba.
it.
Yeah.
You went to Cuba?
Oh, yeah,
A
a long
lot of
time ago.
Canadians go to Cuba.
Was my first trip ever I did. Yeah.
Very very hot spot for Canadians. That's very true.
I love Florida is great. You have so mix of things here. And during the winter it's not too cold,
No, it's not cold at all.
No, at the middle of the morning you can have some kind of hoodies, but at the end of the day you're still short and t-shirt,
You have kids, right?
You have one kid, yeah.
How does the kid like it? Is it a
For
boy or a
him,
girl?
it's a Floridian guy. He
likes it?
Oh, for him, he don't want to go back.
Really?
No.
How old is he?
He's 10 now.
10?
Yeah. He missed the family, that's for sure.
And what
but
about the friends and stuff like that? He was okay with that?
all his friends are here.
Really?
Yeah, I have one friend, two in Canada. So because we leave almost 5 years ago, so it was
Got
about
so he was,
5.
so he was already little.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm good.
And is switching French and English. And he's really good at English. So when we talk together, it's always, Dad, you need to do this. You need to pronounce this that way. It's not the right word. So he's teaching me.
And you guys speak French at home, I'm assuming?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a must. You need to keep the culture.
Yeah, we speak Spanish with my son
Yeah?
all the time.
But you need.
Yeah.
If not, one day would be gone.
Yeah.
You need to always remember where you come from.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important.
We asked him, where are you from, Max? De donde eres? And he says, Cuba.
Cuba. That's good.
Even though he was born here. Cool. Awesome. John, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. We've got a few minutes. What's next for John? You got a secret project that you're going to tell me about right now?
No, but if your audience want to have a free diagnosis of their go-to-market right now,
Sweet.
we give it for free. So just reach me on Instagram, follow my page, and ask roadmap, and we'll be happy to give it for free to all your audience.
We'll leave all the information below in the description.
Yeah,
Cool.
Be happy to help.
John, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate your time.
Thanks to you.
All right. See ya.
Talk to you soon.